welcome back. I'm Subscirbe. So the nav system kind of screwed up and I went AFK for a bit. So just down, so down in that direction, just on that island, that's the airport of Norman Manley Airport on Jamaica. So yeah, Jamaica, Kingston. So we're currently approaching Bado for waypoint. This just screwed up massively after I did the last manoeuvres. It looks like the sim's actually frozen itself because it doesn't like it when people shout by the looks of things. So we're currently frozen. I'm going to use the opportunity to do a skillful little edit. I'm just going to show you the chart. This is the on-off approach for runway 30 at Norman Manley. Approaching Badov at 9,000, we'll be descending further to 3,000 by Wascott, then Averell. So we're just going to fly it in VNAV down to our decision height of 400 feet AGL, because we're category D, because we are a 777. Again, 9.1 DME we should be at, or 9.1 miles to the threshold, which we can't measure because we haven't got a DME for this runway. We should be at 3,000 and then going down to about that height. So actually got a 1 mile decision point, 1 mile from the runway, or 400 feet. Okay, so we'll just set up for this approach now, and I will get back to you on the approach. So, are we just defrozen yet? There we go, I must have paused it by accident. And as I say, the nav system screwed up, so we're approaching Bado, which is actually we'll descend to 6,000 because the system says you can. The level change. So we'll just also decelerate the aircraft to flaps at manoeuvring speed, because I'm going to try a low drag approach procedure today, but we're going to have to use auto brake 2 because the runway at Norman Manley, if I just scroll right back up to the top of the chart, isn't anything spectacularly long. It's 9,000 feet. It's efficient for the triple, but we'd still prefer to use auto brake 3 actually. I'm going to switch landing lights on because I'm below 10k. Seatbelt signs are already on. Strobes should have been on, that should have been on, that should have been on. I had to reload it, so that's why that happened. Okay, spoilers we can on, because we aren't going to be using them until we get down. And after shit looked, no, VREF is going to be 140 knots today. We're landing a little bit below what we expected, but we picked up a headwind coming across the Atlantic and had to fly that monkey business due to a go around. So, it's going to be at 6,000 by Bado, I suppose. So we can just deal with that having spoilers at all. And then we'll just stand on the brakes, well, ish, and just slow the aircraft right down. Now I've just realised VNAV has broken itself. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm just going to have to reprogram it to have a cruising altitude of 6,000. Okay, 5,500. Yep, it's okay. So VNAV's broken itself. So what we'll do is we'll fly this in VNAV mode, which means we need to get a lot slower. By mascot at 3,000, we need to be at VREF, which is obviously 140 knots. And we'll fly it as a localizer approach. So it's a 3-degree approach path, I believe, isn't it? The problem with not using Navigraph charts, because I'm just using a bag of charts I've had for quite a while now. When we didn't actually use any star today because there was no point. Wind's pretty calm over the aerodrome, so that we could get away technically without using it. Could do the VOR, but I'm really not in the mood to do that. Oh, now for 30, there we go. So, it's a 3-degree approach path. I'm going to check that, 3-degree. Cool. So, okay, I'm actually going to stick a bit of spoiler right now that we need to slow down a bit. I'm just clicking it out very gently, ever so gently, just so the sim's got time to take over. So the autopilot's got time to work out what I'm actually trying to do to it. I can also scroll this onto present heading. I'll just scroll around the new heading, I think. It's going to be a pretty minimum radius turn this to get us down at 3,000 in time. I don't understand because the 777 normally drops much harder than this. Probably could have done this in the TriStar actually. I'll probably do the next leg in the TriStar. Full spoiler now. We'll go down a lot quicker. that out. Go for the cabin crew with the bing bong. And we'll slow down to 180 knots. We won't be at 140 by the time we are. Actually, we'll take flap 1, I suppose, since we're doing this way. Flap 1, we'll take flap 5, I think, initially. What was that flicker for? 25 overall, I suppose, so yeah. 137's V min in this aircraft, like minimum controllable airspeed. I'm going to scroll the airspeed right down onto 140 knots. Right, spoilers out, flaps coming out now, so we are really starting to bucket that speed away. I'll actually take landing flap now, landing configuration now, and then we'll be fully configured for the approach, and then it'll work perfectly. You can see we don't even need to use the also we've got a 10 knot headwind, so when we turn into wind we'll have a look at what our ground speed indication is. Speed brake can come away now. Oops, burp there, tactical burp. So we are now turning back in towards Manly Airport, or Manly. We'll switch the terrain map on, just for my sit-rapness. Is that even a word? Yeah, you can see we've got some terrain to the right of our track, to the north of track. I'm going to actually take over and stick us into heading mode now. I'm going to have to hide that yoke because I can't actually see over it. If I had track IR, it would be a whole different question, but I don't, so I'm just going to aim to intercept it at that point. I'd love to know why they don't have an ILS on this end either. And then we'll just stick it back into our nav. So our ground, the wind's gone for some reason, so that makes our ground speed 147, that's near enough to 140 not to matter. So that gives us, once we reach the descent point, a 700 feet per minute rate of descent. First officer didn't switch his director on for some reason. Landing lights are on, we're fully configured, we'll pretend we're cleared, so taxi light can come on now. Center pump was empty, wasn't it? Center tank, yeah. Okay, I can also just switch that to the gear view now, so we can monitor the gear temps as they warm up. I'm just going to do that actually. I was considering playing with Rex Weather Architect, cabin bing bongs being received. Playing with Rex Weather Architect to create a storm on the approach. So I thought that would be quite nice to have. Also, we need to start descending at 9.1 miles on that. So I suppose we got slowed down quite early on, but that's no big deal. I'd rather be slower earlier than barreling in at full speed and then having to fly go around. So you can see it's about 10 hours after we took off from London Gatwick. Landing about 5 minutes ahead of schedule, which is quite nice for the passengers. And it's just quite nice for us too, because we get to go off to the hotel sooner. It's nice and slow at this stage. So what I can do is, I'm just going to fast forward us a little bit, because we can, and I suppose it's something not many YouTubers actually do. They'll make you sit through the whole thing, but instead of that we can fly at 450 knots until over the top of Wascott, which is going to take us about another 3 minutes, so just under a minute. But yeah, so this is obviously the 777 PMDG. It's the default repaint actually for it by PMDG. That's why it's a fictional tailcode. GZBAV, she's not actually a real aircraft, I checked it. Bang on the money for the airspeed though, the autopilot. Okay, we'll wait till we're directly overhead Wascott. That's still us 10 miles from touchdown, so you've got to take that into account. Okay, that's now the range counting done. We've got another 3 miles to go. Not too long at all now. And I've just retracted us by accident, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, on your QNH settings, by the way. We are bang on VREF though, because there's just no wind. And that there is the runway. That's not right. I'm going to disconnect and I'm going to hand fly the aircraft, because I think I haven't done that for a while actually. There we go. For some reason the mouse clicks are being transmitted through my headset, which is less than ideal, but we can deal with it. Less than ideal, but dealable. The next leg of my quite nice trip now actually is going to be to go down to, or up to I suppose, St Martin. I suppose it's crossing down really, if my geography of the Caribbean's near enough right. So as you can see, I'm just letting myself descend, because I'm flying a eyeball approach, so I'm flying about 2.5 degree approach path, which is nice and smooth. Passengers wouldn't even realise they're descending at this point. We're descending so quietly and so smoothly. We're also flying a lower drag configuration in terms of what the airframe can do. So yeah, I'm not. I had the way the flight plan was set up, it dumped us over the top of the airport, so that's why we had the dodgy thing, and I was away AFK. I'm thinking, what the hell is this thing doing? Check. Anyway, I was away AFK, and then I got back a bit late, and what the hell? I thought we were a bit, yeah, the city it wanted us to take, sorry, the star it wanted us to take would have taken us further to the left, so I went, nah, scrub that, and we flew visually. And those lines are just it wanting to do things, but we can disregard them. We can switch the VOR left bank on actually, which will give us a DME fix. Actually very, very stable in this configuration of the aircraft. It'll just select and hold it. You can select to hold an altitude very, very easily. I've noticed I'm to the right of centre line, but that's dealable. Again, I'm just gonna fly in. I'm aiming for that ship actually, that's just in front of us. And then I'm gonna veer left and then line up and be bang on the money. And then we've got a few days of layover in Kingston before we continue on with Jamaican Airlines, sorry, it's Caribbean Airlines I think. I forgot the name of the repaint. But until we take those guys on to rather nice area in St Martin, and then from there it'll probably be Miami. 980 feet, okay. So decision height is 400 feet. We're pretty stable at this stage, so we can reach the runway through normal manoeuvring. We'll bang on the money for VREF, so no complaints there. We're just a little bit to the right of centre line, which is just going to be a bit of a do this. It's a little bit of a weave really, and then we'll be bang on the money. If you look at the the range, we're about half, not even that, we're at 200 yards to the left of centre line. Easy way to spot that by looking at the runways, looking and making both runway ends look the same length, which they don't at this stage. I think they've got some VFR around here as well, by the looks of some of the cliffs off to the left. I can't actually make the Vassies out, so I'm just shooting it. Oh, there we go. We're red. Oh well. We're a little low. That's decision point. So continue approach, because we can fly the aircraft on the runway from here. We're just going to get a little bit low for the people who are on the beach. Hashtag St Martin. It's pretty much this. It does resemble St Martin quite a lot, though, if you think about it. There we go. Just a nice gentle thatch reef. So I'm going to christen it. Okay, I'm going to take the auto throttle off. Check. Auto throttle off. And my antivirus chose the best time available to pop up there. Okay, idle. And just follow the flare. Reverse green. reverse green. There we go, reverse green. Just keeping ourselves centre line. There's 80. Okay, 60 knots. And manual braking. Okay, we'll take the next right. And then we'll stop on the back track to do the cleanup. And call the ground services. I've actually got the HD taxi markings installed. Might go to Copenhagen someday soon as well. I actually need to do that because I've got the visual approach sussed for that because I flew it a few days ago in the real world. I'll add. Just got to remember the nose wheel's a little bit behind our bum. So I'm just going to get through this turn. Okay, I'm just going to stop the aircraft. Park brake set. So APU, that can start. Landing lights off, strobes off, beacons and navs on, turn navs and taxis on. Spoilers retracted. And flaps are up. Let's do the flight control check. Flight controls. Oh, it doesn't actually indicate that. So we'll keep that on gear. And during the taxi, we'll clear the ECAM. Auto brake can go to off. My side can take the electrics page, and the right hand side can do fuel check, fuel sufficient. So we'll do hydro, can do air actually. There we go. So I've noticed some real world carriers do it this way, and you don't really use the nav screen after you vacate, so it's a sensible idea, I suppose. Even in a very long cruise, it's a sensible idea. If you just have one screen as the nav screen, you've got the other ones on systems that you want to look at. Oh, yeah. It's interesting that the battery's still charging. Also, so don't do that. I'll take the gate. I'll take gate 17 heavy. No need for the follow me, we'll just look for the ground services appearing on the ramp. There they are, I felt that lag, so that means they're in. So folks, welcome to Barbados. I'm just looking for where they actually spawned in, because I thought it was a simpler. I think it must be on the other side, far side. Whoa! So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the captain. On behalf of British Airways, I'd like to welcome you to Jamaica. Local time is currently about 10 to 4 in the evening. We'll be having you on stand very shortly, and we wish you a pleasant stay or onward journey in Jamaica. Okay, so you can see the NDP, I suppose. You can see the pushback toe, so we need to be kind of in. We need to come around this way, then loop back in. Be nice short taxi and had landed the other way. It's a pretty calm wind. I just took 3-0 because it was what FSX decided was the active. Quite logically so, I suppose. We're going to have a bit of a thing to loop around here. Can even switch the auto throttles back on, just to get rid of that. There he is. So we need to loop around and face him, and then we'll be offloading our passengers. Whoa! The reason I'm using this is I lost my AFSIM log on, so I can't go and find some new repaints. So yeah, we're entering the stand then. Entering the stand checks. Taxi light, turn offs, off. I'm just keeping the beacon and nav on. I think the APU is started. I will confirm that before I shut the engines off, of course. I'm going to have to stick the nose well over, because with the 777 the nose wheel as well behind my bum. So that's an issue for me. Oh my word, I'm glitching through the headrest. It's going to be terrible parking, but didn't leave me really much room there. Ah. Alright, so we need to run into negative figures. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong ones. I need to get rid of those numbers I keep forgetting to do before I use them. Back brake is set. Okay, APU run light. Right, that's the APU will be on by now. So, one's off, so two's off, one's off, and the load is going to APU. That's embarrassing. Should have gone over to APU. What we can do is we can just that's rather embarrassing. Yeah, so apparently the APU did start. I'll have a look at that when I get the thing back on. And we'll just connect the GPU. So quiet though. Okay, next thing we'll do is depressurize the hydraulics. British Airways also tend to turn the packs off on their aircraft on the ground and the blades. We have actually plugged a ground power source in, so there's something wrong with the electronics in the aircraft right there. So that's the situation it's got. Yeah, it's powered from the external primary bus. So those screens are going through self-tests again. Anyway, folks, so beacon lights come off. We'll just go to the external view. So quiet. Anyway, so folks, as I say, we're going to get the deboarding underway. Just on behalf of British Airways and myself, I'd like to welcome every single one of you to your new holiday destination of Jamaica, with Air Jamaica over there. So it isn't Air Jamaica I was going to be flying. And we'll get the doors open and the passengers are disembarked. I'm not going to show you that because, yeah, oh, well, he's chiming away at me. I'm not going to do that, but as I say, folks, there's no point in me showing you the disembarkation process because you've all seen it before. Those of you that use GSX, and if you haven't, it's pretty basic. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. See you all next time. Bye bye.